Hello and welcome. This is a video guide on how to optimize the performance and boost the FPS for Minecraft. I'd like to point out the guide will definitely be helpful for high-end systems, but it will boost mid-range and low-end gaming PC systems with much more effectiveness, especially lower-end systems. The guide will not only show you how to boost the FPS, but it will also improve your game's quality and your system's performance. In turn, this should help fix any lag or FPS drops or stutters that you could be experiencing whilst you play. But first and foremost, we'll go over the very best tips, tricks, and settings for gaming on Windows 10, step by step. So without further ado, let's get started. Step 1. Clean out your shader cache. I cannot stress enough how important this is. This basically cleanses and resets your stored shaders, which are basically tones and textures that your installed games save. Every time there's a new update, more are added on. Shader compiling can cause crashes, stutters, freezes, and even overheating in some cases. It uses extra memory too. Resetting your shader cache should always be the first thing you do before installing a new game, or when a new update comes along. Now there's a link in the description for a video that will show you 2 simple ways on how to easily clean and reset your shader cache. Step 2. To ensure you get the most out of your PC whilst you game, I highly advise that you switch off every overlay and background application while you play. Things like Steam, Nvidia GeForce, Xbox Game Bar, Discord, even River Tuner, and any others that could affect the performance while you game. This is mostly for players with low-end gaming systems that need all the power they can get, basically. To turn the Steam overlay off, just head into the Steam setting menu, click in-game, and untick the box that says enable the Steam overlay while in-game. To turn off the Nvidia GeForce overlay, open up Nvidia GeForce Experience, click on the settings icon, go to General, and switch off the in-game overlay. For Xbox Game Bar, using the Windows search bar, type Game Mode Settings, and then click the icon. Once the window is open, navigate to the left side and click Xbox Game Bar, and of course, set it to off. Then you navigate back to the left and click on Captures, where you then need to switch off background recording and recorded audio. For Discord, all you need to do is open Settings and on the left select Overlay. You'll then just need to disable the option that says Enable In-Game Overlay. After you've done that, navigate to Advanced and make sure Hardware Acceleration is set to off, as this actually uses GPU power to run Discord. Step 3. In the Windows search bar, type in Game Mode and click the settings icon. Once the window pops up, ensure Game Mode is set to On. For quite some time, there were issues with this particular setting, but Microsoft has now finally fixed it. So basically, if you're running the very latest version of Windows 10, make sure you turn Game Mode on. This will force all your PC resources on the game you're playing and suppresses any background activity from affecting your system while you game. Step number 4. Navigate back to Windows search bar, type in Graphics Settings, and click the icon. Now in here, you should see an option for Hardware Accelerated GPU Scheduling. This needs to be set to on, and if it wasn't, you will need to restart your PC after you turn it on. Once that's done, navigate down to Graphics Performance Preference, and you'll want to add Minecraft to your graphics performance list. The way you add your game to the list will depend on where your game is installed. With most game distribution software, such as Steam or Epic, your game is installed in the traditional way, and you'll just have to navigate to where it is installed in order to add it to your graphics list. But in this case, with Minecraft, I have it installed via Microsoft. Now with any Microsoft Store games, all you need to do, under Choose an App to Set Preference, change it from Desktop App to Microsoft Store App, and a new drop-down box will appear. All you then need to do is click that drop-down box and select the application you want, which in this case is Minecraft, and you add it to your games list. Finally, you just click on Options, and then you set it to High Performance. Click Save, and then you're done. Step 5. Go back to the Windows search bar once again, type in Power Plan and click Edit Power Plan. At the very top, click power options, and under preferred plans, ensure high performance is selected. Step 6. If you have multiple screens, I would advise to only have one screen on when you play. If you press the Windows key and P together, you will bring up a menu that lets you select which screens to have on. Step 7. Background apps. Simply type settings into Windows search bar and click the icon. Then select privacy. On the left menu, scroll down all the way until you see background apps. Then simply switch off let apps run in the background. Step 8. The Windows Registry Edit. Now this step may look a little daunting, but it really isn't, I promise. Just follow along and you're going to be 100% just fine. First, just head on over to the Windows search bar. Type in run and hit enter. Once the new window opens up, simply type in regedit as you see on screen and hit enter once again. You're now inside the Windows Registry Editor. In here, we're going to optimize and tweak a couple of values that will set important Windows registry keys to completely prioritize gaming above all else. This includes your CPU resources. So start off by double-clicking HKey local machine, then double-click software, then find the Microsoft folder and once again double-click it. Then scroll down until you find Windows NT. And you guessed it, double-click that. Then double-click the current version folder and finally scroll down until you find the multimedia folder and double-click that one. You'll now be seeing a folder called System Profile, and I want you to just click that one once. Now to the right, you will see two options inside. One is titled Network Throttling Index and the other is titled System Responsiveness. Starting with Network Throttling, I want you to double-click it and delete any value you see in there, and then you proceed to type in 8 Fs, as in FF, 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 FF. And this will actually disable network throttling completely, which is extremely beneficial for gaming. Now once that's done, click OK and exit. Next up, double click on System Responsiveness and change the value to 0. This will actually ensure all your CPU resources go towards gaming. And once you've edited the values inside these two registries, head back over to the left and double click on System Profile. Then double click on Tasks and then click the Games folder just once. Head over to the right and double click on GPU priority and set the value data to 8. You then click OK. Next up, double click priority and change the value to 6 and click OK. Finally, double click on scheduling category and change the value data to high if it wasn't already and click on OK. You have now successfully optimized the Windows registry for gaming. Step number 9, clearing out your temp folder. This is a pretty simple step and it will clear away a huge amount of unnecessary dumped files that are just simply cluttering your machine. Firstly, head down to the Windows search bar and type in %appdata% and hit enter. Once the window pops up, you will need to ensure that your hidden items are actually showing, as this is a hidden folder. To do that, all you need to do is click on view at the top and then tick the box to the right that says hidden items. Once you've done that, click app data on the address bar and you will see a sort of transparent folder called local. Double click on it and then scroll all the way down until you find another transparent folder that's called temp. Once inside here, you'll want to click and drag your mouse to highlight every single file inside the folder. Then just right click on your mouse and select delete. A window will pop up and what you simply need to do is tick the box that says do this for all current items and then click skip and keep doing the same until the process is finished and you're only actually left with the files that are actually being used by your machine inside the folder. Okay, so now we're going to dive into the game and we're going to change a couple of things. Now with pretty much any game, we can just, put everything on low and that would be fine. You'll more than likely get smooth performance, but the visual quality would probably be quite poor. But the whole point is to try and maintain as high a graphical quality as we possibly can, whilst squeezing the very most amount of FPS and smoothness. So that's exactly what we aim to try and do with this guide. Also, with Minecraft, there are lots of great mods that you can download and install that'll improve the graphical and performance quality. But that's for another video, as this is for new players on PC. We'll just stick to the box standard in-game settings. So firstly, let's head into the settings and then into video. For brightness, just go ahead and adjust it to your own preference. Camera perspective doesn't really matter. I would say turn off full screen. In fact, the smaller the window, the better the game will run. For hide hand, hide paper doll, hide HUD, you just leave them all off. Now for screen animations, I'd also recommend switching it off, as it is just a gimmick and won't really make any difference to your game if it is switched off. For HUD capacity, leave it at 100%. Now field of view, or FOV, this is quite an important setting. Basically, the higher the number, the more you can see on the screen. Of course, that also means that your GPU will of course try and render more at once, which affects performance negatively. I'd say that if you're on a low-end system, try and stay between 30 and 60. For a mid-range PC, stay between 60 and 90. And of course, for high-end, go all the way to 110. Then out of all these other settings, only leave smooth lighting, render clouds, and FOV can be altered by gameplay on. Everything else can just be switched off. GUI scale modifier leave as 0. For render distance, I'd say between 10 and 50, but you might just need to play around with it a little bit to see what works best for your PC. And finally, anti-aliasing can be set to either 2 or 4. Now, of course, these settings really depend on your own PC, so definitely play around and see what works best for you and your system. I really hope the guide helps some of you in some way or another. If you have any questions, pop them in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.